There is a reason the most honest teachers eventually stopped explaining. It wasn't because they had nothing to say. It was because they saw what words do. Words divide what is already whole. They turn the living into an idea, the infinite into a sentence. The moment enlightenment is described, it is already no longer here, only a memory, a concept, a shadow. Notice this. Everything you've heard about awakening is made of language, but what is hearing these words is not. Language was never meant to carry truth. It was meant to point and then disappear. But over time, we forgot to look. We began collecting explanations, memorizing teachings, quoting the unsayable, and in doing so, we replaced seeing with knowing about. Words became shelters. Beliefs became homes. An awakening which requires no shelter was left outside. This is why the masters fell silent, not because enlightenment is mysterious, but because it is obvious when nothing stands in the way. Silence wasn't poetry, it was precision. Here is the quiet truth. Enlightenment is not an experience inside language. Language is an experience inside enlightenment. Look now before the next thought, not at the words, but at what is aware of them. That awareness does not need explanation. It has never needed teaching. It has never been absent. This series will not give you answers. It will remove what is in the way. When words end, what remains will be unmistakable. There is an old metaphor repeated across centuries. Do not mistake the finger for the moon, and yet this is exactly what we have done. The finger was never the truth. It was a direction, a momentary gesture meant to vanish once the seeing occurred. But something subtle happened. Instead of looking where the finger pointed, we began studying the finger. We named it. We analyzed it. We argued over its shape, its origin, its authority. We built systems around it, and slowly, the moon was forgotten. Teachings were never meant to be collected. They were meant to be outgrown. But the mind prefers possession to disappearance. It prefers certainty to surrender. So pointers became doctrines, metaphors became laws. Living truth hardened into belief, and belief, no matter how sacred, is still something held. Here is the uncomfortable recognition. The moment you cling to a teaching, you stop looking. The moment you defend a belief, you have already turned away from what it points to. This does not mean teachings are wrong. It means they are temporary, a bridge, not a destination, a match, not the fire. Look closely now. The moon does not argue. It does not explain itself. It does not demand agreement. It simply shines. Awakening is like that. It does not require a system to protect it. It does not need followers or defenders. It only requires that you look right now, not at a teaching, not at a memory, not at a belief about awakening, but at what is aware of this moment. If you are looking at the finger, let it fall. If you are waiting for permission, release it. The moon has never been hidden, only distracted from. This series does not offer a better finger. It invites you to finally look up. Belief is subtle. It doesn't arrive as a lie. It arrives as comfort, as explanation, as something to stand on when the ground feels uncertain. Belief says, I understand. Seeing says, I am here. And those two are not the same. Belief lives in thought. Seeing happens before thought. Belief holds an idea about truth. Seeing dissolves the one who needs the idea. This is why belief feels safer. It preserves identity. It keeps the me intact, the one who believes, the one who knows, the one who belongs. Direct seeing does not negotiate. It does not reassure the self. It quietly reveals that the self was never what it imagined. So belief steps in at the edge of not knowing, right where surrender would begin. Instead of falling into the unknown, we reach for meaning. Instead of looking directly, we accept a conclusion. And slowly, almost invisibly, belief replaces seeing. Here is the paradox. Belief can sound spiritual. It can quote sages, speak of oneness, recite the language of truth, and still be the final veil, because belief is something you have. Truth is what remains when having falls away. Notice now, without judgment, are you holding a belief about awakening, about who you are, about what should happen next? Belief always points to the future. Seeing is immediate. Belief says, this is it. Seeing says nothing and leaves nothing unresolved. This does not mean belief is wrong. It means belief is provisional, a raft, not the shore. When you reach land, you do not carry the raft on your back. Look now, not at what you believe, but at what is aware of believing. That awareness does not need certainty. It does not need answers. It does not need belief. When belief loosens, nothing essential is lost. Only what was never true falls away. This series is not asking you to change your beliefs. It is inviting you to see what remains when they are no longer needed. Practices begin innocently, a meditation, a ritual, a discipline meant to bring clarity, peace, or truth. They promise progress, and for a while, they help. But something subtle happens when practice is no longer a doorway and becomes a destination. When awakening is placed at the end of effort, time is introduced, and where there is time, there is postponement. Practice says, not yet, after enough stillness, after enough purification, after enough effort. Awakening is always scheduled for later. But truth has never lived in the future. It has never waited for readiness. It has never arrived as a reward. Here is the uncomfortable saying. As long as you are practicing to awaken, awakening is assumed to be absent, and the one who practices the seeker is quietly preserved. This does not mean practices are useless. They can calm the nervous system, sharpen attention, create space. But space is not awakening. Silence is not awakening. States are not awakening. They are experiences that come and go. What you are does not come and go. Practices become a problem only when they replace looking, when repetition substitutes recognition, when effort becomes avoidance. Ask this not as a question, but as an honest noticing. Is this practice revealing what is here now, or is it quietly promising something later? Awakening does not require a posture. It does not depend on discipline. It does not need preparation. It only requires that what is false stops being maintained right now without doing anything, without correcting experience, without reaching for a better state. Notice what is aware of this moment. That awareness is not practicing. It is not improving. It is not on a path. It is already here. Practices can refine the body and mind, but awakening happens when the one who practices is no longer needed. There is a question quietly shaping every spiritual journey. Who is it that wants to awaken? At first, the seeker feels necessary. Someone must search, someone must improve, someone must arrive. But look closely, the seeker is not a person. It is a movement of thought, a sense of incompleteness, imagining a future wholeness. The seeker is built from time, from memory, from expectation, from the idea that what you are is not enough yet. And as long as the seeker is believed, awakening is placed elsewhere. This is the subtle trap. The seeker is sustained by spiritual language, by goals, by stages, by promises of arrival. Even awakening itself can become the seeker's project. Notice this gently. The seeker always asks, how do I get there? But what you are is already here. The seeker cannot awaken, because the seeker is what awakens from. When seeking ends, nothing special happens. No fireworks, no achievement, just the quiet absence of the one who was searching. This is why seeking feels noble. It gives purpose. It gives direction. It gives the self something to do so it doesn't have to disappear. But awakening is not found through effort. It happens when effort collapses. Right now, without stopping thought, without suppressing desire, without changing anything, notice what is aware of the sense of seeking. That awareness is not on a journey. It is not incomplete. It is not becoming. It has never been seeking. When the seeker loosens, life continues, breathing continues, functioning continues. Only the tension of becoming falls away. This series does not offer a better path. It invites the end of the one who needed a path. When the great master spoke, it was never the words that changed people. It was the silence that carried them. They did not transmit ideas. They transmitted presence, a stillness so complete that thought paused in its light. People came for teachings. They stayed for something they could not name. Not knowledge, not answers, but a quiet recognition I am already here. This is why proximity mattered, not because the masters were special, but because silence is contagious. When the mind stops reaching, it naturally rests in what remains. The words were never the teaching. They were a rhythm, a way to slow thought until it dissolved on its own. What was being shared was not meaning, but being. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the absence of resistance. It is what is present before interpretation, before identity, before the urge to understand. The masters pointed to silence because it cannot be mistaken, it cannot be believed in, it cannot be owned, it can only be noticed. Right now, without effort, without preparing, without waiting, notice what is aware of this moment. That awareness is the silence they pointed to. Not something deep inside, not something far away, but what is already here, seeing, hearing, being. This is why they fell silent. Not to hide truth, but because it was obvious once the noise ended. The greatest teaching was never spoken. It is happening now. Every thought has a beginning, but something is here before it begins. Thought arrives already formed, but awareness does not arrive. It is already present before the first word, before the first image, before the first idea of me. The moment before, thought is not empty. It is alive, quiet, open. This is where recognition happens, not as an experience, not as an insight, but as a simple noticing of what has never left. You don't have to stop thinking. You don't have to control the mind. You don't have to create silence. Just notice the space before the next thought. That space is not created by effort. It is revealed when effort pauses. Thought will return. It always does, and that is not a problem. The error was never thinking. The error was believing that thought was the source of awareness. Thought appears in awareness, not the other way around. And the moment you see this, thought loses its authority. It can speak, it can plan, it can function, but it no longer defines you. Awakening does not happen inside thought. It happens around it. Right now, notice the next thought as it arises. See that it appears. See that it passes. And notice what does not move. That unmoving presence is not waiting for recognition. It has always been here. This moment before thought is always available, not as a technique, but as what you are. After recognition, something unexpected happens. Life continues. The body moves, the world appears, decisions are made, but something essential no longer refers back to a story. Living without reference means life is no longer filtered through who am I, or what does this mean? Experience unfolds without commentary. This is not detachment. It is intimacy without interpretation. Thought still functions. Memory still operates. Language still appears. But they are no longer used to confirm identity. They serve life, not the other way around. Without reference, there is no spiritual posture, no image to maintain, no role to perform. Just this moment meeting itself. Ordinary life is no longer in the way. It is the expression. Washing dishes, listening, walking, breathing, nothing special and nothing missing. The mind may still ask, is this it? But that question no longer needs an answer, because what is here does not require validation. Know this now, without referring to the past, without anticipating the future. What is present? That presence does not depend on understanding. It does not consult memory. It does not wait for meaning. Living without reference is not a state. It is the absence of needing one. Nothing has changed, and everything is met differently. There comes a moment when even spiritual language falls quiet, not because it was wrong, but because it has done its work. Words were never the enemy. Confusion was. Language was only asked to carry more than it could, and now it can rest. When awakening is no longer an idea, there is no need to describe it. When truth is obvious, it no longer needs a name. Terms like awakening, presence, consciousness, non-duality, they were bridges, but bridges are not homes. The end of spiritual language is not silence for its own sake. It is simplicity. Speech returns to usefulness. Words become tools again, not identities, not beliefs, not badges of knowing. Without spiritual language, there is no authority, no hierarchy, no one who knows more about what cannot be owned. Just ordinary communication happening inside extraordinary clarity. You may still speak, you may still teach, you may still share, but the words no longer point outward. They arise from what is already clear. Notice now, hearing these words without reaching for meaning, without translating, without agreeing or disagreeing. That ease is the end of spiritual language, not its destruction, its fulfillment. When words fall back into silence, what remains speaks for itself. Nothing needs to be explained. Nothing needs to be defended. Nothing needs to be said. There is nothing to conclude. No final understanding. No arrival. No moment you can point to and say, "This is it." Because what is here was never a process. It did not begin with a series. It does not end with these words. The search ended not because something was found, but because nothing was missing. Life continues, thought continues, language continues, but the need to resolve existence has quietly fallen away. There is no enlightened state to maintain, no realization to protect, no identity to defend, just this appearing as it always has. Even the desire to understand no longer asks for an answer, because what understands is no longer required. Notice now, not as a practice, not as a check, but as the simplest fact. You are here, aware, unseparate. Nothing needs to be carried forward. No teaching needs to be remembered. No insight needs to be preserved. Let these words dissolve. What remains does not need confirmation. It does not improve. It does not conclude. There is nothing to finish, nothing to become, nothing to return to. Only this as it has always been.